What's good, everybody? Will Frazier here, your credit and business expert, bringing you some funding options today, particularly by grant form. And what a grant means is that you don't have to pay the money back, which is, of course, the most ideal form of funding that any small business is probably going to want. Now, some things you need to keep in mind before listening to this video are going to be, and make sure that you pay attention to this part, is going to be that grants are usually going to apply to certain people or certain businesses in certain situations or that meet certain qualifications. You have to remember that the people that are giving out this money, they are not government funded grants. At least for the most part, they're not. One of them actually will be government funded. So if they're not a government funded grant, then they're going to have some type of qualifications that they want you to meet, or you're going to have to take some action in order to receive this free money. And if you want somebody to just give you free money, I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be a problem to do at all. Even if the money is coming from something that is government funded, you're just going to have to complete a few steps, application, maybe do a few other things. So of course, if you want free money, that shouldn't be a hassle to you at all. Now, when it comes to these different grant options, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you might be wondering if it applies to you in your particular industry or your particular stage of business. So as you listen to me giving you the outlines of what is the requirements, just know that those are the requirements. So if it says it's for small businesses and it doesn't identify a specific industry, that means it's for any industry. It doesn't matter if you're doing construction or if you're a dog walker. That means that you're going to qualify for that grant unless they specifically say this is for the restaurant industry or for another particular industry. And as far as a small business goes, usually a small business is going to mean somebody that has registered their business in their local state or in local city, county, or whatever, so that they can actually have a registered legal business. Because of course, most people aren't going to want to just be giving out free money to a person that says that they have a business, but they have no proof that they actually have a business, because then the funds might be going to just some random person that just wanted some free money. And in most instances, their goal is to try to help small businesses grow, because small businesses help the economy so much. So this is why you would have to already have a registered business, which means you would have to take the time to spend a few $100s in most cases to register your business as a LLC or whatever the case may be in your state, and then you will be able to qualify for these funds, because usually they want you to make under a certain amount of money. You don't have to make a certain amount of money, but as long as you have made under a certain amount of money, you're the type of small business that some of these grants may want to deal with and actually give you funds to help you out. Now, the only time that this is going to be different is if it specifically says that this is for a business idea. So if it's for a business idea, that means that you don't necessarily have to have a registered business. You can, but if you have an idea for a business, then that means that you can still be a person to receive funds from this grant, even though you don't have a registered business. So keep all of these things in mind while you're listening to the requirements that each grant is going to have. And also, just so you guys know, I don't actually do help or assistance with funding as far as grants for a business. I do help with coaching for businesses, and I do help people with credit issues, but I don't help with the actual hand-to-hand help with receiving funding for a grant. So if you have any questions or you need further details on any of these grants, make sure that you go down to the description, because I will have links for each of these grants, and you can reach out to the administrators of the grant, and that's where you're going to get the best information that you can find in more detail on any of these grants that you may see here. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with this first grant that we see here. So this one is going to be for people that are in New York. Now, this one is the New York Startup 2022 Business Plan Competition, but even though it's a competition, it's still free money for you. So the New York Public Library is proud to announce the 12th annual New York Startup Business Plan Competition for New York-based startup entrepreneurs. Entrants can win $15,000 to start their business, as well as gain practical insights about starting and growing a business while using the comprehensive small business resources, Small Business Resources at NYPL's Thomas. I'm not even going to try to mess that one up. Business Center. So basically, they're giving you up to a $15,000 grant. This is for small businesses. So let's look at some more of the details that are involved with this grant. Are you eligible to win the cash prize? You must live in Manhattan, the Bronx, or Staten Island. Your business must be in Manhattan, the Bronx, or Staten Island. So not only do you have to live there, but your business must also be there. And also, all businesses must have ideas or business models in the startup phase and have earned less than $10,000. Now, this is what I was talking about. All businesses must have ideas or business models. So you can have an idea, which means you do not have to actually have a registered business based on what they're putting here. And you can also always click right here to get the full rules and eligibility requirements. Again, the link to this particular website is going to be down in the description, so you can click this and check out this information for yourself. And it's saying that you have to have earned less than $10,000. So they want to particularly target businesses that have not made a whole bunch of money. Now, the most important thing right now about this grant that you need to pay attention to is going to be that you need to submit your entry by January 31st of this year. So by the end of this month, you need to have submitted your information for this grant. So make sure you're keeping that in mind. So that means the deadline is approaching soon. We're almost about halfway there. So as soon as you can, I will be trying to put my information in for this grant if I were in the New York area. So this is going to be the first one. Now let's go on to the next one. Now the next grant that we're going to be talking about is going to be one that's through the North Carolina Department of Revenue. Now, they're calling this the Business Recovery Grant. Of course, you're going to have to be in North Carolina for this particular grant. So if you are in North Carolina, let's go ahead and take a look at what you need to see about this one. The Business Recovery Grant Program will issue a one-time payment to an eligible North Carolina business that experienced a significant economic loss due to COVID-19. And there are a good bit of grants out there that are no longer attaching themselves to COVID-19. So if you did receive a loss because of COVID, this is something that you can apply for. So the application period closes January 31st. There goes that date again. So this is also something that if you're in North Carolina, you need to be applying for before this month ends. Don't hesitate, don't wait. Go ahead and get your application in and do what you need to do. So there are two types of grants that will be available to all eligible businesses that suffered an economic loss of at least 20% during the pandemic, and I believe that's going to be 20% of revenue. So a hospitality grant will be available to all eligible arts, entertainment, and recreation businesses, as well as eligible accommodation and food service businesses such as a hotel, restaurant, and bar. And you can see that that's NAICS codes 71 and 72. So also, the other type of grant that is going to be awarded, or the other type of eligible business, is going to be a reimbursement grant. Will be available to an eligible business not classified in code 71 and 72 that did not receive funding from other relief programs, including the PPP program and COVID-19 job retention grant and the EIDL advance. So if you did not receive any of those government funded program grants, then that means that you will, and also if you are not in this first category, then you can receive the same fund. Now, when you're looking at the amounts that they're awarding, this is the big one here. The grant amount is a percentage of the economic loss demonstrated by the eligible business, or $500,000, whichever is less. So if you had a loss of more than $500,000, you would receive at most $500,000. But if you had a loss that was less than $500,000, whatever that loss may be, you can still receive something. You don't have to have made a whole bunch of money to have that big of a loss. As long as you've made less than $500,000 in a loss, then you receive, that amount or less based on the amount that you actually lost, which is still a great thing because they're giving you about 20% of what you lost. So they'll reduce grant, like they say here, they will reduce the grant amounts if the total amount of grant requests exceeds the maximum amount of funds authorized for the business recovery grant by the state of North Carolina. Now, grant amounts will be determined at the conclusion of the application period. All payments will be made by check, mailed to the address provided by the prospective business once the amounts are determined after the application period ends. So that is everything that you need to know about that grant. Again, you can come here for more eligibility information. This link is also going to be down in the description. Now, let's get on to the next grant. And also, I'm going to share with you guys a reminder about another grant that I already mentioned to you that's close to ending. If you have forgotten to go ahead and apply for that, so make sure that you stick around for that information. Now, this next grant is going to apply to those of you that are already doing online selling, some type of online business, and you're actually making sales on a platform called Poshmark. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Poshmark, basically they sell things like clothing, handbags, stuff like that. To my understanding, I don't really do any shopping on Poshmark, but as you can see here, they have women, men's, kids, home electronics, actually stuff for pets, beauty and wellness. So they do have a bunch of different things that are available on Poshmark. It's not just like women's clothes or something like that. They have a good spectrum of options as far as clothes that people are selling, somewhat like a eBay or something like that, where a person might have an item, they take it to the website, load it up, list it, and then try to sell it. That is the type of website that Poshmark is. Now, with this particular grant that they are offering to their sellers, so again, you do have to be a person that is already selling things on Poshmark. So if you know somebody that does, you might want to let them know about this grant. Thank you for your excitement about Poshmark's Heart and Hustle Community Fund, which was created to provide Poshmark seller community with the funds and fundamentals to support their business goals in 2021 and beyond. Now, you can see that they're talking about a grant opportunity that was in 2021, but they actually, when you come down here, you can see that they have a new grant cycle, which is going to be for 2022. It opened up on the 3rd of January. And if you didn't know, most grants, they have cycles where they may come out annually, they may come out monthly, or they may come out quarterly. It all depends on what organization it is that's providing the grant, and they usually let you know what their cycles are, as you can see right here. And it says applicants for cycle 4 grants will open on January 3rd. As part of the application process, you will have the opportunity to tell us how your Poshmark business has impacted your life and how you plan to take your business to new heights. Now, in addition to the grant that they're going to be giving you, here's some more information on what they're offering you guys that are going to be recipients of the grants. Since Poshmark's founding in 2011, we've built a great repository of selling resources, tips and tricks, and supporters whose expertise has helped us along the way. For our fundamentals program, we will be focusing on 3 pillars: seller resources, mentorship, and community. So some of the things that you're going to get from that are going to be, they've curated an ultimate toolkit built with you in mind, a private Discord invitation for all grantee winners to communicate with each other, share personal tips, and a space to bounce ideas with like-minded Poshers. You'll also be invited to a quarterly event just for winners of Poshmark's Heart and Hustle Community Fund. Here you will get the chance to connect with Team Posh, join working sessions, and connect with fellow Poshers. So all of that is some great benefits, being able to be around other Poshers and get more resources and tools to help you up your selling game. So what are the qualifications that you have to meet in order to qualify for this? So first off, you have to be 18 or older. You have to live in the US. Now this one is also available to people that are in Canada and even Australia, excluding Quebec. Be in good standing on Poshmark with a rating of at least 4.5 or higher. So you have to actually be providing a good customer experience to the people that are shopping at your cart. You can't just be a 1-star seller and still qualify for the grant, which is a good thing, I would say. Have an average ship time of less than 3 days. Have shared at least 2,500 items from other Poshers closets. So you're helping share other people's items, which is a good thing. It helps promote community. Have made a minimum of 10 listings sold on Poshmark if you want to get the $500 grant. And you must have at least sold 125 listings for the $5,000 grant within a specific time period. So basically you have to, however many sales of listings that you've had determines how much money in grants you qualify for. So submit a completed application. including a video that captures your story. And you can go ahead and apply here. And again, the link to this site is going to be down in the description, so you can check that out. Now, the selection process: eligible applicants will be reviewed by Poshmark's Heart and Hustle Community Fund review team. Final grantees will be decided by Poshmark's Heart and Hustle Community Fund Advisory Council. Now, if you want to get a look at and see some information on some previous grantees, then you can check this out right here from all of the grant winners that were awarded in the 2021 cycles. So you can check them out here if you need more details. And now let's go on to the reminder of the grant that's about to be closing soon, so you guys can jump on this opportunity if you qualify for this grant. Now, this is the grant from Comcast, as you might have remembered me talking about before. Now, as far as eligibility goes, this one is for minority and also expanded for all women-owned small businesses, and that is regardless of your race or ethnicity if you're a woman. So besides being a woman, this is also for minority groups. So don't forget, if you did forget about what it is that you get from this grant, this one actually isn't a cash grant, but you will of course receive what I perceive to be thousands of dollars worth of services that they are giving you. They have consulting, they have media, they have creative production, they have technology makeover. So all of these things, they do also offer monetary grants. Sometimes it's just that it's not open currently, but of course still keep them on your radar for when they do possibly open that up to everybody. But right now you can get a whole bunch of different services that can actually help you to grow your business, which is of course just as good. And this opportunity is going to be closing on January 15th. So this one is very, very close. It's not the end of the month like those other ones I mentioned. This one is right smack dab in the middle of the month. So you want to make sure that you're jumping on this if you actually qualify for this. And I do believe you have to be in a Comcast service area in addition to those other things that I mentioned. But of course you can apply here. You can get more details. The link to this is also down in the description. So make sure that you check this out. Go to the link and see if they have any extra details that you need to know about. If you need more information on these grants and how they work, the deadlines, what makes you qualify, make sure that you're reaching out to the program administrators. I don't personally hand in hand help anybody as far as securing funding for any grants. I'm strictly here in this capacity to find the information and put it in front of your eyes so that it's on your radar, so you can find some things that you might qualify for and be able to receive some money. Now, if you don't qualify for any of these grants, you still have the opportunity to try to get business funding, whether it be from a loan, a business loan, or a business credit card. I do have videos on the channel which do cover different options that you have, whether you're a startup business or a new business that has been in operations for quite some time, or a more experienced and established business. And some of those options range from not having great credit at all to needing to have good credit. But if you do have credit challenges, I can also help you guys with issues in regards to your credit to help you to secure funding for your business. Just make sure that you go down below. I do actually have a free top credit questions guide which can help you guys with any questions that you may have in regards to your credit and trying to improve it. I'm offering that to you guys for free. I used to charge for it, but right now I'm offering it for free. So please go ahead and check that out in the description. See if it helps you with your credit questions. And if that does not, I have several other tools and resources that you can use to help you with your credit. And if you just want somebody to help you with it, please go ahead and book a credit consultation with me so I can take a look at your credit, see what we can do to improve that, and then you'll be able to qualify for that business funding that you need for your business. Now, I thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. I really appreciate every one of you guys that spend your time getting information from me. If you like this video, make sure you actually hit the thumbs up on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get more information like this, as well as business information and credit information. And I'll see you guys next time.